Alrighty, so let's get started. Let's move right on into this. It's about, I'd say, maybe 7 o'clock a.m. here on the West Coast. The fabulous Pacific Ocean right here. A beautiful sight. Just gorgeous, really nice. A really nice day, and in fact it's a little bit on the cooler side. So the first thing, we're going to just kind of get right into this as we go along here. And you know, I talked about like bringing in the sun's energy and kind of using that. So we're gonna just kind of get into the moment. And the first thing I'd like to do is kind of, so in my particular case, I'm standing in the sand right here. I don't know if you can see that, but my feet are kind of planted in the sand and I'm kind of happy. Yeah, I'm happy right now. Okay, so we've got the ocean air, so breathing in that salt air. We've got some sunlight. So the sun is off to, that would be, let's see, the east. So depending on the angle or the vantage point of where you're looking at. But I'm just going to stand back a little bit and just look at this, observe. And so this is what yoga is all about. It's about, you know, so here we are in the moment, okay, we're whatever it is, whatever, you know, is happening, whatever's going on, we're taking in that particular time frame and being mindful of not jumping ahead of ourselves. So really staying in focus, keeping that clarity of thought as we proceed to do whatever we're going to do in that particular time, space, and event. So let's do a couple balancing exercises first. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come up, and let me just stand back a little bit so I can get, you can see more clearly what I'm doing here. So let's, we did this one the other day, which was on Sunday night, so we're going to come around and kind of just, so right now we're taking in energy, we're opening up, we're starting to opening up the body, okay? So, and it's good to get a little bit warmed up. So let's do it one more time as we take another breath. We inhale and exhale. So for those of you that don't know who I am, I'm Michael Jeff. This is the Yoga Lounge channel. We talk about yoga, we talk about Christianity, we talk about worldly things that are going on as we speak. That's right, so worldly events, things that are transitioning right in this moment as we speak. We're looking at this, things that are happening right here. So I've got people around me. I've got a cafe across the way here that I'm looking at. And I got the train, the Metro link that's occasionally going back and forth. And then on that side, then we've got the majestic ocean right here. So everything is really nice. So where you were, so we're in a planted position, okay? So dig your feet. You're not going to dig your feet. I'm going to dig my feet into the sand. Okay, so you're going to, you've probably got your yoga mat. And it's always good, like I said before, to always have a yoga mat when you begin your practice, so that avoids getting bacteria or anything like that. And so it's very helpful to have that. In my case, I don't have a yoga mat today. I'm just kind of, I'm blending into the sand, shall we say. Okay, so we're going to see how this goes, and I'm going to try to keep it down to like maybe a 45-minute class. Maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit less. We don't know. So let's see where we're going to go. We got a great morning, great day. What else could you ask for, right? All right, so let's go into just mountain pose. So arms at your side. Take a deep breath and exhale. Take another deep breath and exhale. Exhale and release. Relax the hands. Let's take one more deep breath. Let's lift up on this breath. So we're going to lift up into tall mountain. Okay. I'm going to step back a little bit. So going a little bit farther back. Okay, so I'm into Tadasana, the tall mountain pose. Okay, and let's rise up, and keep the breathing active. So you're on your tiptoes. Hold it a couple breaths. And exhale and release. So, and automatically, so you start to feel a little bit more energized moving into this, and we're just going to go into the flow. So we're going to turn around. Usually in yoga, we turn around to the right, but I'm going to turn around particularly because it's a better vantage point for you, so I'm going to turn around to the left. And let's see if we can do this here, so make it a little bit more efficacious here in the time, in the view, in the time, in the view, in the time, in the view. Okay, all right, so let's go. So let's just put the hands into prayer. So normally, as I said before, you would be looking toward the sun, okay, and so you would do your yoga practice. You're looking toward the sun. So we got to figure out where the sun is today. Today there's not too much sun out, but there is a little bit. So we're going to turn around to the other side, and I don't know what you're seeing or where it looks like I'm looking, but I'm looking to the east. Okay, so this is to the east. And we're going to do triangle pose. We're going to just jump right into Trikonasana. Okay, so now as I said, like last night I was using that the sun's energy to bring it into the posture. And as I'm seeing, there's a little bit of sun coming through. So we're seeing the sun coming through as it's giving us a little bit of AM strength, shall we say. So we're getting that into that AM strength. We're getting into that mode. Don't have my coffee yet, so I'm not quite in that mode, but I'm getting into the mode because I've got the ocean and I've got the east and I'm looking into the sun, and it's good because it's not blinding me, so it's not that much sun. All right, so this is great. And so I'm going to turn around. You're going to stay where you are, but I'm going to turn around so you can see me. And we're going to go into Trikonasana on the right side. So we're going to step out like we did before, and your right foot is out about 90 degrees. Your left foot is in about 30 degrees. Okay, all right, so we're really approaching this asana. In yoga, they call them the asanas, usually, or the postures or the poses. Focusing our attention on the moment. Whatever's going on around you right now, sort of just push that ahead about an hour or so, or 2 hours. We don't have the future and we don't have the past. So we have just the present moment, right now. So arms out to the side, airplane fashion. So we step, drop the hand down toward the foot, look up to the hands, and breathe. Nice deep breaths, keeping it going, keeping it smooth. Keeping it smooth. As you look up toward, it would be your left hand, and straightening the body, opening up as if something was like a ruler, like we said before, or a flat beam board was pressing against your chest, causing you to be a straight line from hand to toe. So, if you can look up to your hand, fine. If you can't, if your neck's a little bit strained, then just keep the gaze a little forward. Try to adjust the pose. You might want to come a little higher if you need to. Keep the breath active, and usually in about 5 breaths. And so that was a little bit longer. So always, as I said before, come up a little sooner. Come up a little sooner if you're tired, and so you don't have to stay as long as I do in the postures, because everybody's different. If you want to stay a little bit longer, then that's okay too. So let's step out conversely over to the other side. So we're stepping out to this time would be to the opposite side, so it'd be the left side, or the right side, doesn't matter, whichever side you happen to be on that you didn't do the time before. So let's exhale. Notice that we take the breath and we exhale into the descend, and we slide the hand down, trying to get that arm up above, taking in the energy now. So now we're taking in the energy from the universe, in this case it would be the sky above, and we're bringing in that energy, and we're being mindful of the fact that we're trying to bring the energy all the way down to the foot. So we're open enough in the chakra, which would be the heart chakra or the chest. We're open enough, and we're flat enough, and we're straight enough, we're aligned enough that we're allowing the nadis and the chakras, within the chakras and the channels of the body to open up and to bring that energy. So as the sun's energy. So keep the breath active, and let's just start to come up just about now. Inhale and come up, and exhale and release. So slowly inch the feet back apart. Now, I don't know if you can all see me here. Let's see. I think it looks like, okay. Don't mind me. I'm I'm crazy sometimes. I do things weird. Okay, so in the moment, in the flow, always just being whoever you are. And by the way, this is what yoga is. It's truly not putting on a show, not trying to be something you're not. Being who you are, the person that you are, and especially when you come out to a beautiful place like this, you can really appreciate who you are and being authentic. And that's what we're talking about here. So it's not a show. It's, whenever you exercise, be mindful that you're doing it for the sake of your own health and well-being, not to put on a show for somebody else or to, like a performance. It's not that at all. It's being yourself. It's learning how to be me. And so this is what, as you develop in the practice and you get better, then that's where the progress really begins. It's with being you, being yourself, especially within each asana. So, from the very beginning of the asana to the very end, we're being ourselves, we're being totally focused with clarity of thought. Okay, so let's go into the next pose. So we're going to dive right into, I think, Parsva Konasana today. For those of you that don't know that too well, you may want to skip it. and just hang out a bit more. I'm going to demonstrate that in depth on Friday night, on the Friday night class. So let's step out again, once again, to our right side. Okay, and so we're just going to kind of go through the steps again, a wide stance here, probably about 4 feet apart. Arms out, airplane fashion. Let me step back so you can see my feet, okay? And we're going to bend the right knee 90 degrees. Okay, so you see the arms out, relax the shoulders, okay? So now we're going to drop the arm, we're going to rest the arm onto the knee. We're going to lift the arm. Now notice as I did that, so I kind of relaxed the eyes a little bit. And here, so we don't want to be down here to where we're, the arm is toward the ground. We want to try to get the arm up above the ear. So we're looking slightly up to our, maybe toward our armpit or toward our, would be our tricep or our upper arm. And the knee is directly over the foot. The back leg is nicely planted into your yoga mat, pointed about 30 to 45 degrees in. Both feet are in alignment. And let's come up, inhale, and come up, and we straighten it out. And let's go to the other side. And again, taking a couple moments between the poses allows us to regroup. I feel good, I feel good. Feeling good, yeah, that's what it is. Okay, so yeah, I feel really good. Okay, I feel really good today. And that's good. So let's focus again, once again. So wherever you are, maybe you're just in your apartment or your house and you don't have the sun coming out at you. So in that case, so you create an image of in your mind's eye. You're taking in, so you're imagining yourself taking in energy from wherever you are, using that energy, that vibe space that you have around you. It's like a circle of vibes, and you're bringing that into your realm of being. Okay, so let's go again. So now arms out once again, go through the steps. We take the first breath as we lift the arms. Feet are about 4 feet apart, legs straight, nice and active energy going on. Bend the knee 90 degrees over the foot. Back foot's pointing in about 45 degrees. Relax the shoulders. Drop the arm onto the top portion of the leg. Make sure that knee is 90 degrees over the foot. Keep the chest open. Again, and bring the arm up over the ear. Look slightly up toward the arm, and the hand is flat. The hand is flat facing the sand. In your case, your yoga mat, the knee is directly over the foot. And so this is really strengthening here. For those of you that didn't do this pose, it's kind of maybe watch, and then we'll learn it a little bit more effectively on Friday night, okay? So couple more breaths. If you need to come out sooner, then please do so. Never stay longer than you have to. Always being mindful of your body and where you are today. Okay. So, yeah, that feels really good. So take a couple moments. And like I said before, so, taking a few moments between each pose, usually in the tradition, it's usually about like a minute, no, not a minute, I'd say about, I'd say 30 to 40 seconds is good. If you need to take longer, then that's okay too. So it gives the body a chance to catch up with yourself. So rather than speeding ahead, and running around the clock and forcing the body to do things that it doesn't want to do, you're letting the body kind of acclimate to what you're doing. Okay, so we've just gone through 2 poses for those of you that didn't do that. So you can follow along with me and catch up in Parsvottanasana, which is they call it the pyramid pose. And we've done this before. So we're stepping out to the right, the back foot is in. And so the front foot is out 90 degrees, the back foot's in 45. And we're going to lift the hands up as we inhale. The body is very straight. The hips are squared off, so the hips are facing forward. And we're going to bring the hands down, resting the hands on the leg, and kind of sliding down as far as you can go without rounding the back toward the foot, being mindful. Trying to grab the leg above or below the knee joint. So we try to refrain from grabbing at the knee. That's not a good thing. So you want to, if you can go down farther, go as far as you can go without rounding the back. So you may just be able to come right here, maybe down to here. Notice where your back starts to feel like it's starting to round, and your arms are getting too straight. That means you're going too far. So I'm going to go all the way down. For those of you that are more advanced, you want to go all maybe really extend and deepen the stretch toward the foot. Some of you may go all the way down, that you touch your chest to your leg, but you want to be cognizant of the fact that you're keeping the leg straight as possible. So we want to have both legs straight. The back foot is firmly straight. The back leg is straight, and the front leg is straight. Okay, looking down toward the toe. And let's come up. Inhale. Inhale. Lift. Lift. Bring in that energy. So again, concentrating, if you're outdoors especially, you have a chance to do that. Exhale and release. And keep that breath going. Okay, so let's take a couple moments. Once again, have a nice day. Have a good day. Okay. That's what every day should be. It should be a good day. Good days. Staying in a higher frequency level. And remember I said yesterday, so trying to stay out of that state of negativity. And sometimes we have to come out to beautiful places like this to get into that frame of mind. So let's go on the other side. Once again, pyramid. The pyramid pose. Step back. Arms up, legs straight. Take the hands, take another breath. Inhale, square off the hips. Lift the hands up. Keep the arms alongside the ears. If you want to bring the hands together, then go ahead and do so. Come down, exhale, rest the hands on the leg and reach down, stretch down toward your foot, looking down toward the toe. We're going to usually about 5 breaths in each pose. So we're going to hang out here for a couple breaths. Once again, getting into the moment. If thoughts start to come through, then let them go. Observe the mind like a movie screen. Let everything pass through. Let the thoughts. Don't think on what you're going to do, later today, because right now it's only about 7:15 in the morning. Okay, so, or it may be a different time for you, but stay where you are. Okay, let's come up. Inhale, lifting up. Strong energy here. Let's come up. Maybe look toward the hands. Now take the hands and release them out to the sides like that. And feel there's energy in the shoulders. Now let the shoulders drop. And so the shoulders are drawing near the ground. So this is another point. Sometimes you can feel, and I felt a surge of energy by taking in that sunlight that we have today. I felt the energy come into the open up chest and shoulder area, which is the chakra, the Anahata chakra. I could feel that when I did this move right here, when I came up and I came down. So it's essential that you get all of the movements in. because you don't know which move within the particular asana is going to bring in that energy. And maybe the first move, this move, or maybe the last move, which we did was, was that. So we don't know where or when or what or how or, where you're going to take that energy from the sun in, or if it's not sunny or even on a cloudy day, or wherever. Doesn't matter, just adapt to whatever it is. Okay, so we're going to take a couple breaths, and I'm going to take the time to introduce myself once again. For those of you that have never seen me before, and you're thinking, who is this guy? And then, he's on a channel. Well, you've never seen me before. You don't know who I am. You don't know what this channel's all about. But once again, I'm Michael Jeff, and this is the Yoga Lounge channel. And it's been in existence for about, I'd say, 3 to 4 years, and but it's still kind of in the early progress, because I wasn't, for a period of time, I wasn't doing too much with the channel. I was doing some more kind of edited style videos, and I didn't really know where I was going with it at the time. So now there's a little bit more of a directed effect on some of the topics that I'm talking about, like Christianity, yoga and what have we. Different styles of yoga, and we'll be bringing in people to interview them on, about various topics as we move on to the next few months. So trying to bring some interesting people in, perhaps, and so opening up new venues, new avenues, new. Shall we say, just stepping out of the box, making changes. Okay, so let's go into the next pose. And so the next pose usually we go into is Prasarita Padottanasana, sometimes known as the wide angle forward bend. So it's kind of the wide stance forward bend. I'm going to change my vantage point. You guys, a lot of people around here today look kind of watching on here, so a little bit of a change effect. Kind of a nice morning. This is a great spot. And I finally kind of found this spot. It was really nice. Just happened to stumble upon it. You can't really see, but there's like a little tunnel. There's like a bridge where there's like a river coming through under the tunnel and the water through the rocks. So it reminds me, it's a little bit reminiscent of the Northwest, because in the Northwest they have a lot of rocks on the ground, on the beaches, and they're more cliff style with rocks and things happening like that. So let's go into Prasarita Padottanasana. I talk a little bit too much sometimes, but sometimes that's okay. Keeps it entertaining, keeps your mind on what's going on. Okay. So let's bring the arms on the hips today. I'm going to show you more of an advanced version of this, I think, on Friday night. Okay, so right now, let me get a little bit more center. I think I'm too part of the edge. So we're going to bend forward as we exhale. Once again, keeping the back straight, legs are straight. I'm digging into the sand so I can really feel that connection between the ground. My feet are about 4 feet apart, and if you want to, you can reach the hands down toward the legs, deepen the stretch, keep the back straight. If you're rounding the back, if you're kind of like this, then it means that you're probably going too far, so come up a little bit. So you want to go keeping the back straight, a nice straight alignment, nice straight back. And there we go. There, the water is warm today. Yeah, I think it's on the cooler side. The water is probably about 67, 68 here on the south coast of California. All right, a couple more breaths in the Prasarita Padottanasana, the forward bend, sometimes called the wide angle stance. feet about 4 feet apart. Breathing, let's come up, inhale. Okay, let's get that lift again going on. So once again, lifting up. Now you might be feeling that strength coming through as you reach the hands harder, engage the fingertips. Reaching toward the sky, exhale down and release. Okay. So we're going to do a few more poses today. And I don't know how long I've gone on so far, maybe seems like about 20 minutes already. All right, so let's do warrior, because we're in a position we're talking about, like doing the warrior, which is sometimes called Virabhadrasana 1. So we usually start in Virabhadrasana 1, and we go to Virabhadrasana 2, and then there is also called a Virabhadrasana 3, which is warrior 3, and so I'll show you guys that later on. Not going to do that one today. It's a little bit unsteady here for that, I think. But if you're ever out at the beach and you want to do that, I mean, it's a great pose to do. It's a very strength-building posture, and I'm going to demonstrate that in maybe a few weeks. We'll start going into Warrior 3 at times. Okay, so let's go into Warrior 1. So take the first step, like I mentioned before, is so squaring off the hips. Let's move right along here. So lifting the arms up. Try to get the arms alongside the ears. Okay. Gazing straight ahead. If you want to deepen the stretch, you can look up toward the hands, start to look up to the hands, but let's just keep the gaze forward. So if you're facing the sun, that's great. Bend the knee directly over the foot. The back leg is straight. The hips are facing forward. Okay. So the upper body is a lot of energy is coming through the upper body. The arms are alongside the ears. The knee is directly over the foot. The back leg is 45 degrees into the asana. Okay, let's come out into Warrior 2. Like a bow and arrow, looking out to the hands, relax the shoulders. So once again, keeping that gaze forward. Notice that the shoulders are drawing towards the sand, towards your yoga mat. Okay, you can feel the feet. Try to feel the whole body here from all the way through. What's going on? Where am I now? Exhale and release. Take a couple moments between the pose. Let's go on the other side. Take a couple breaths first to regroup. Regroup. And always, like I said before, good rule of thumb, take at least maybe 20 seconds to about 45 or maybe even a minute between postures if you can. If you want to go fast and do a quicker vinyasa flow, that's okay too. And like I said before, we'll get into that a little bit later, into more of a vinyasa flow. So squaring off the hips, the back foot is in alignment with the front heel in alignment with the back arch. Okay, so it's very important, this move right here, to square the hips off. If your hips are out of alignment and you try to go into this, then it's not good for the hips. So very crucial, very important to have the hips in line with the knee and the foot. So we keep everything balanced. So the first step, lifting up, inhale. Take the breath always on the inhale. Exhale as we bend the knee over the foot, keeping the gaze forward. The arms are alongside the ears. And if you want, you can try to press the index fingers together, looking up toward the hand. So right now we're just kind of keeping the gaze forward. And that's okay. If you can't get the arms all the way back alongside the ears, then bring the arms out. So adapt to the what you're able to do in that moment. Okay, let's come out and exhale, release. So a lot of energy here. We're taking a little bit longer through each of these poses today. So remember, do what you can. Only do what you can. If you need to come up sooner, if you need to rest, relax, turn it off, come back to it tonight or tomorrow or whatever. There's no rush. You know, we don't have to get from Earth to Mars in 20 seconds. You know, racing like the Tasmanian devil, you know, spinning around and trying to get there really quick, you know. So we want to slow down and be more like the tortoise or like the turtle, going slow. In this case, the turtle is better. Did I say that? Yeah, I said, okay, the turtle is better than, yeah, you don't want to, yoga's not really, it shouldn't be a racing thing, you know, wanting to get through it real quick so we can get to our job or whatever we're doing. We want to take our time, finding that space and time to, so we can get into that moment. That's where we really get the benefit, is really learning how to slow down. Everybody's in a rush these days, and it seems like everybody's trying to get from one place to the other, and you know, doing anything they can, stepping over anything and everybody to get there. And that's the problem with what's going on right now and everything. So in yoga, we're trying to reverse that. So, and by doing so, we reverse the aging process. We add years onto our life. We rejuvenate our youthful look. Yoga is all about staying younger, keeping younger, staying more energetic, being more healthy. Okay, let's do a couple more postures. So we've just gone through the basic first part of the flow. I'm going to, coming back on Friday night, I hope to have a class on Friday night. I'm going to get into, I'm going to do a couple more postures. I'm going to go into Janasarasana and maybe a couple more of the floor postures, including Navasana, which would be like the boat posture, which kind of correlates in with the, usually done after the inclined plane Purvachanasana, so it kind of, there's a sequence that goes on, and that I'm going to show that to you on Friday night. And so we're going to do that, and maybe might do maybe a modified approach to Shalabhasana, locust. I'm not sure if we'll go that far. But that's Friday night thinking ahead, but we're here right now. So we're just going to do a few more, and then we're going to call it a morning. Interesting morning, so we've got a lot of surfing going on right now. For those of you that like to surf, you can appreciate this. I don't know what you can see from the camera here, but kind of an interesting zone. The waves are really good, probably sets of about, at least, looking to me like about 4 to 5 feet. So waves are nice, the water's good, the temp of the water's pretty good. The vibe is great. Somehow I managed to pull this off today the way I wanted it to. And sometimes things just go like that. Sometimes things head the opposite direction. And so you never know what's going to happen. That's what makes life an adventure. Okay, let's go into, let's go ahead and sit down. And so let's go ahead and sit down. Let me try to find a place so that you can see me. Okay. Skipping a little bit back there, looks like right about there. Okay. Okay, so if your legs are a little sore when you first sit down, then stretch them out again, and then recross the legs. So, all right. So bring the hands onto the knees, resting the hands nice and easy. Let the shoulders relax, straighten through the lower part of the back in a cross-legged position here in a seated pose. A nice even chin with the ground. So you're nice and even. Nice and relaxed, feeling grounded. Now let's really get into the moment. Let's really draw our attention into the present. Look over to your right side. Keeping the shoulders even, shoulders relaxed. Notice that you're also relaxed within your pelvis, and your back is not so straight that you're stiffening up like a board. So try to keep a relaxed back here. Notice that the breath is very even. And let's look over to your left side. Kind of over the shoulder. If you can't go all the way, then come a little forward like that, so you don't want to strain the neck by looking too far. And from here, let's go into Ardha Matsyendrasana, just for to kind of a spinal twist to maybe stimulate our digestion a little bit. So bringing the right hand onto the left knee, looking back toward the hand. Again, adjust that gaze. So if you can't look back all the way to the hand without straining your neck, then look a little sideways. Otherwise, try to draw that shoulder back by lengthening the hand in back of you enough so that you don't squinch the shoulder up. Okay, so we're doing that. And let's come around transversely to the other side. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Sometimes called the spinal twist. And the hand behind you, evenly, I'd say about, maybe in my case, about maybe 8 inches, maybe to a foot. So the shoulder, you're noticing that the shoulder is not squinched up, it's nice and relaxed behind you. The left hand would be on the right knee here, looking back. And take a couple more breaths. This one's good for the digestion, for the nervous system. Sometimes you might just want to do just this pose only in Sukhasana, and maybe a forward bend, which we're going to do next. If you don't have time to do anything else. So again, let's stretch forward, bending forward from the waist, from the hips. And I don't know if you can see my hands, but I'm stretching forward a little bit. Nice, even breaths. Really feeling, now you might want to come up a little bit on the stretch to take pressure off the back if you're feeling a little bit too sore. So, or you just might want to come back to a seated pose depending on where you are, or you might want to go all the way down as far as you're feeling. Let's see how far I think I should go down here. Well, let me see. I'm about right there today. There's also variations to this. One other point, and there is a variation to Ardha Matsyendrasana 1. Ardha Matsyendrasana, I meant. It kind of looks like this. I'm going to demonstrate that on Friday night, I think. Do it on the other side since I did it on that side. Breathing deeply. So notice how I balanced that out. I did about the same length of time as I did with the time before. So everything is, is based on equality. I mean, shall I say, yin and yang, equal forces on each side, or equal time, left and right. Rightfully so, in the same amount of time. Okay, so that's everything is a balance in the practice of yoga. Okay, so seated pose, and let's just do one more before we rest. So we'll go into the forward Paschimottanasana, which I've showed before. So a lot of you know what that one is. And I'm going to come around so you can see me. And this is the pose of tranquility, the pose of humility, or sometimes called the humble pose. So designed to make you humble. Well, in a lot of cases, and a lot of people, they don't become more humble from it, but that's the intended goal. They work toward that. Probably in my case, most of all, I don't know how much it helped me in my life, but I'm still working at it. So this pose really helps with that. By the way, this one also helps with the blood sugar, so it keeps the blood sugar up more evenly. If you tend to be hypoglycemic, it's good for that. It also stimulates digestion, and it's good for the heart, good for the respiratory system as well. So this is a very dynamic pose. So let's stretch forward. Don't have to go all the way down in one clean sweep. So in other words, we don't just kind of rush down into the pose. We start slow. Just try to point the toes upward, keeping the gaze ahead of ourselves. So in yoga, always a focal gazing point. And in this one, it usually would be kind of toward the toes. Some people are so advanced that they may be able to reach all the way to their feet and cup the feet, even with straight legs. But I'm just demonstrating a more modified approach, and sometimes that's where you should be. You keep the nice healthy back, not overextending or overexerting the back. So this one you can hold it for, I'd say about up to 45 seconds. In this case, some people hold it 3 minutes. You can go or as long as you feel, even up to 5 minutes. Some people. So in this pose, you do hold it a little bit longer in Paschimottanasana. So I don't know how good you can see, because I'm in the sand here. I've got the advantage of being on the sand and connecting with the ground, which is really nice, but it also throws off the view. Okay, so being mindful, being in the moment, being in full concentration. Let's come up and inhale, lifting, and exhale, release. And so you don't have to hold it that long. As a rule, we went on a little bit longer. And always in these poses, as I said before, you don't have, just because I'm holding it for, I may go on for up to a minute, doesn't mean you're at that level. So you may want to go, according to your own level where you're at your practice. You may just want to hold the pose, just for 10 to 20 seconds, maybe just a few breaths, maybe not even 5 breaths. But usually, as a rule, or general guideline in yoga, we want to hold the pose like for about 5 breaths. Usually about 4 to 5 breaths is the rule for every asana in yoga. So there's a lot of asanas, by the way, and we're going to get into some more of those. And in some classes, as we proceed, as I move on, I'm going to just be demonstrating 2 or 3, so we can get into more of an in-depth within that asana or whatever that posture may be. Some of the more maybe difficult postures, or even variations within the triangle, or maybe Purna Trikonasana, which is like the full triangle, which is a very beneficial pose. All right, so let's go ahead and just we're going to do, let's get up for a second. Let's see if we can do one balancing exercise, at least one balancing one, and then we'll lie down for just a couple minutes and rest. All right, so let's see where we are. I don't know how long. I think this class is going to be about an hour class. It's looking like. So this is a modified version of the tree pose. So really not the tree, but this is the way that it's taught in the modified version for those people that don't have the balance to do the tree, or they're working up to that at least. So if you feel you want to go into the full tree pose or Vrksasana, then go ahead and do so. So let's just bring the hands into the chest for today, or maybe just you want to leave your hands at your side. But for me, okay, I'll bring the hands in a prayer position, lifting up the foot. I didn't do that right. Let's try it again. See if I can do it. I can't really do it today. There we go. Okay. Lifting up. If you can't get the foot off the ground, just pull the foot in front like this. a nice even stance, so you don't want to lose your balance. If you're a little shaky, and sometimes, every day is different, one side is different than the other, there's going to be those times, so just do it. You don't have to lift the foot off the ground. Let's go to the other side. And once again, if you can just want to leave the foot on the ground on your yoga mat, that's fine. If you want to try to lift it, then you do so. So I'm going to lift it up. And keeping the breath going, and then bring it down. So if you want to do full tree pose, then go ahead and do that. We did that the other night. Those of you that know what tree pose is, I'm going to take a couple more breaths, couple seconds before we lie down. All right, so a little bit of beach yoga today. Ocean yoga. So Ocean AM yoga. So this is the morning again and everything's really good. Everything really feels good, and so beach moves, beach yoga, east and west, north and south, up and down. So that's kind of where we're going today. And Friday night, the next time we do a yoga class, or at least I teach a yoga class, be a little bit different. Don't know what it's going to be, but we'll see what happens. All right, so let's go ahead, and wherever you are, let's go ahead and lie down. I'm going to try to just do this. I don't know. Let's take a few moments to relax. Let me get a little bit farther back so you can see me. Yeah. See if I'm even enough. I hope the camera doesn't cut out on me, so I don't have to do a part 2. Okay. All right, let's just take a couple minutes here. And just relax, let go. So keep it a nice, even breath. Feeling a full body connection. Feeling everything connecting with the earth. Feeling your connection with your yoga mat from the bottoms of your toes to the top of your head. Being right in the presence of now. Okay, so, all right, so it's, go in and roll over onto your right side. You can peel it with your hands. And this is the way that we transition up in yoga, so we don't jump up from, too fast. All right, so let's do a few ohms to finish everything off. Inhale. One more. Thank you for sharing your energy with me today. Have a great day. See you on Friday night.